Hi there, Rivers. How are you? I really look forward to telling you these stories. And as I tell you these stories, I look back on my life and I think, what a lucky guy I am. I'm so lucky to have Queenie as my wife. I'm so lucky to have 7 wonderful children. I feel like the luckiest guy on planet Earth. And as I tell these stories, I keep thinking about some of the cool and funny and sad and hard things that have happened in my life. And I think about some of the lessons that I've learned about life. And I have this great desire to share some stories that will help you. Maybe all they do is help you laugh a little bit, but maybe you can learn from me and I want you to be a much better person than me. I want there to be an improvement in the species. I love it when my sons and my daughters exceed me. And I know that Queenie feels the same way. So I want to tell you about one of the best jobs I have ever had in my entire life. I was 14 years old when one Saturday morning my dad came into my room. It was probably 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, okay, maybe 10 o'clock. And I'd had a long week and I love to sleep. And he said, "Steve, get up. We need to go somewhere." And I go, "What? Where do we need to go? Why are you doing this to me?" So I grumbling put on my clothes, and without telling me what he had done, we jumped in the car and we went for about a couple of miles from where we lived, and we pulled up into the parking lot of a grocery store called The Store. It's still in existence. And I worked there for about 2.5, 3 years. It was a great job. And every time I go past it, which is quite a bit, on Highland Drive, it's just a little east off of Highland Drive on 6200 South, I just have these wonderful memories. And I want to tell you one of the first memories I have about this job, and it was on my first day. Well, first of all, he sprung this job on me without consulting me. Oh, heaven forbid. And I think he was just kind of tired seeing his son being lazy on a Saturday morning. And he thought, I'm going to get him a job. So he knew the manager and the owner of The Store and got one Stephen Wilford Harris a job as a bagger. Well, at first I was a little put off by this, like, how dare you screw up my Saturdays, my weekends? But then something really fun happened. I recognized that being a bagger was kind of fun. And let me tell you why it was fun. The checkers were probably, some of them were between the ages of like 19 and 23 or 24. Most of them were single or they were just recently married. And they wanted, these are the checkers, the ones that are ringing everything up on the cash register. And they wanted to have a bagger help them so that they could get their job done real quickly. And so what they did was they flirted with you a little bit, not in a bad way, but here I was, this shy, pimply kid with braces and, excuse me, and I was kind of shy. And these really cute girls would ask me about myself, and they would say something funny, and I'd laugh, and I'd say something funny back to them, and they would laugh. And they taught me how to talk to girls. I didn't think that was going to be one of the byproducts of working at the store. And they were really cute girls and really accomplished. They were going to school and they got married, and I just had a blast. And so I started there as a checker. Okay, this is my first Saturday. there's certain things that you have to there's the physics of bagging. You have to figure out when it is that you're going to double bag, because if you have a lot of canned goods, you don't want the bag just to fall apart. And then you had to take into account something that I didn't take into account. And that is that the parking lot was not level. The parking lot, if you go by it now, you'll see that it slopes gradually, and not terribly, but gradually slopes downward to the west towards Highland Drive. And so you have to keep that in mind. So here I am, one of the very first people that I'm bagging. And back in those days, you bagged the groceries and then you walked out with the customer, engaging in small talk sometimes, and you would unload the bags of groceries and tell them, have a great day. And most people were super nice. Some were pretty grumpy. So anyway, there was this woman, probably in her mid-40s, maybe 50s. I considered her ancient, which is hilarious because I'm 68 right now. And I put her watermelon down on the bottom kind of shelf, or the part of the shopping cart. And I was engaged in what I thought was witty and good banter with my customer, when all of a sudden my customer said, she gasped. She goes, "Oh, that's my watermelon." And what had happened is the watermelon, because it was the downward slope, had rolled off of the cart and was rapidly gaining speed as it headed westward. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here? And it was already maybe 15, 20 yards ahead of the cart that I was pushing with her groceries. And then as I watched in horror, it slammed into the Tebbs Insurance, this little cinder block building wall, and just absolutely smashed to smithereens. I thought, this is going to be the shortest career in bagging history. And I went inside, and the assistant manager was a really, really nice guy by the name of Bruce Riches. And I said, "Bruce, it's my first day." And I was thinking, I'm going to get my butt canned. And I explained to him what happened, and that the watermelon had fallen off of the cart and had been obliterated. And my customer is waiting right by me. And Bruce, I think he had to stifle laughter, but he smiled and he says, "You know what? Let's get our customer another watermelon." And he went and got her an even bigger watermelon and put it in the cart, and I didn't put it down on the bottom this time, and I walked out with the customer to her car, wished her a good day, and then I began to walk slowly back into the store, thinking, I am a goner. They're gonna can my butt. And I very humbly went up to Bruce and I said, "I am so sorry." And then he started to laugh. And he said, "Oh, Steve," he says, "don't worry about it." And my job, at least for that week, was still safe. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.